want to meet a samurai. Okay? Samurai are no longer alive, right? So, and it's Asian culture, whatever it is, I don't know the details, but what happens if someone writes that down, and there comes the one-on-one basis conversation. So these guys are going to turn it to you. You give them a deadline. Within the next, I would like you to give me this, turn this back to me within the next 24 hours. So the sooner, the better for you. So at one point you go to bed, before you fall asleep, you're going to just go through all your, traveler's expectations. You can actually, highlight those that are frequent travelers, those that are not frequent travelers, and they're going to have the priority, of course, for you. People wouldn't know, right? But for you, they will have the priority. So if here's a frequent traveler, and next morning, and I already read that he wanted to see a samurai, I'm going to just approach him, and I'm going to find the right moment. Could be before breakfast, maybe after breakfast, perhaps before we take off for the first morning tour. It's like a fisherman with a fishing rod. If I want to catch that fish right there, so I'm going to be going like that. So that's how I make myself available, so they can see me at all times. And you have do you happen to have, I think I brought it here, the clipboards, what the clipboards are? This is what we use in our region. This is a clipboard that we use in our region. This, all right? And so this is working attitude. If every day I carry this with me, is a working attitude. Why? Because when you see someone, you're going to be carrying all your expectation cards right here. You're going to be, oh, there's Jim. All right, this is my opportunity. Hey, Jim, may I have just a couple of minutes with you? Yes, sure, of course. I was reading your expectations. You see, you're very much interested in seeing a samurai, but let me tell you, samurais are no longer alive. But this is what we're doing, In a couple of days, you're going to be in Kyoto. I'm just making that up, of course. We're going to be in Kyoto. We'll have the chance to learn about the samurai, period and whatever. And we're going to be going to a museum, which is fantastic. I'm sure you're going to enjoy very much. That's how you make the approach towards the expectation of your traveler. Is that clear? Yes? Do you see how easy it is? Once you have this written down with you, yes, it is your excuse to make conversation with your travelers. That's your excuse. And that's how you do it. I mean, it took me 10 seconds to say it. Hey, can I have just 2 minutes with you? Yeah. You know what? I was reading your expectation. You are very much interesting, thinking about something and now in my region. You're very much interested in seeing penguins. But this is the wrong time of the year, because they're already migrated. However, there are very high chances to see penguins, but in the water. So if you brought, binoculars, I much highly recommend you to be outdoors, on the ship, so we can get to see. And every once in a while, I'm going to be out there available. I will let you know. I'm going to bring everybody out. So bring your binoculars. We might be able to see it. At the same time, you're doing what we call an under-promise. Yes, the under-promise is, I'm not assuring you that you're going to be seeing penguins, but you might. I'm not saying you're gonna see a samurai, but you're gonna learn for sure. A lot about it if you want. So you're just giving the guy the choice to do it or not. You see, it's not like you're ignoring, a samurai. This guy doesn't know anything, doesn't even know where he is. No, that's not the idea behind it. The idea is that you do the proper approach by using the expectation card. This is great, folks. Yeah. This is where we came out with this a few years ago. And the idea is try to implement the same thing, throughout the world. Yes.
So you're going to distribute these cards.
I'm going to leave it here and
on the morning briefing.
Thanks for the question. Yes,
and
that's when we do it.
The next morning you collect
Correct.
them.
Exactly.
That's really
Exactly. Exactly.
Maybe when they
arrive at the hotel.
No, during the welcome briefing, that's fine.
Welcome briefing.
Welcome briefing is the moment.
The moment.
Is the moment when you show how good a leader you are.
Oh.
When you set the tone of the trip and
then
the
you
color
show-
of the trip.
You show this to everyone and just,
That's right.
you know, explain.
That's right. You
how
just
they-
explain it. I
they
don't
fit
think
in
I brought
and-
any with me.
I see, okay.
I don't think I brought any with me.
So
But
for
that's
the-
how you do it. Yes, that's right. You just bring it out and say, you know what, folks, you know what this is? This is an expectation card. We want to know, and this is important for you to write it down, we want to know the reasons why you chose Japan. So put down here 3 of your expectations. And this is not a guarantee that they're gonna happen.
Ah.
It's not a guarantee that all of them are gonna be fulfilled. But we can assure you, we will do our best.
We'll do our best.
That's how you do it.
Sure.
That's the right approach, and that's the key sentence there. I'm not saying this is not a promise, because Americans love that word. I don't use it. I don't like it. Because when you say, I promised you I'm gonna do, oh my God, with Americans, when you say, the minute you say, I promise we're going to see that, you're gonna feel the pressure of your shoulders. And these guys are not gonna let you go unless they see what you promised they were going to. So it's a very tricky word in English when you say promise. So I'm not going to, this is not a guarantee that all of them are gonna be fulfilled. However, we are going to do our best. That's it.
So Carlos, you told
Yes.
us that that card, you know, you're using these, how many years?
Oof, a lot of years. I've been with the company for 15 years.
Wow.
And I use it, we've been using this and what I call the heart of the welcome briefing, probably for the last 8 years or so.
8 years.
I would say,
Mm.
7, maybe 8 years.
I think
or
this
so.
is very good idea,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
If it's for the pre-trip traveler, do you give it on the second day of the briefing for the pre-trip?
For the pre-trip travelers, you can give it to them as soon as possible. Because
Oh.
there is a reason why they chose the pre-trip. Maybe there's something in the itinerary they were interested in,
Right.
and that might be the expectation. If you wait we wait 3 days until you have everybody together, you might have just passed the opportunity to fulfill that expectation. So what you do, you just give it to the pre-trip travelers as soon as they arrive to Japan. When you have this, you know,
So
15, 20
on the
minutes
day,
get together.
yeah.
Yes, the first day, whatever
On
that
the
is.
arrival day.
On the arrival day, right. When you're gonna have sort of like the briefing,
Yeah, I see.
you shouldn't call it the welcome briefing. That's another way to make the distinction. I wouldn't call it the welcome briefing for the pre and a welcome briefing for the main. I will call it just a briefing. Just a briefing, a pre-trip briefing, all right? And then we're gonna move to the big words. Big words is welcome briefing, because you gotta go through the philosophy of the company, ground rules, itinerary, and introduction of everybody. That's basically the body, right? So introduction, the heart, I already know what the heart is, and then itinerary, ground rules, and that's it. That's welcome briefing. And then you just, thanks very much for being here in Japan, let's go. And that's how you start rolling, right?
And another thing,
Yes.
we usually hand out the pins for for those SCH members. For the
Mhm.
pins for the briefing for the pre-trip group, when should we hand them out?
It's up to you. I would do it once I have everybody together, because if there's something Americans like, is to be recognized in front of their
In
counterparts.
front of everybody,
Yes,
so we should
that's
wait?
right. Just wait. Yeah, they can live 3 days without a pin,
Mm.
so no problem. I don't see a problem there.
Mm.
Now you do it differently. We in our region, we wait until the end of the trip. Once the trip is almost complete, then we give them the pin, because and there's something I just remembered. Remember when we were talking about the one-on-one, you know, one-on-one and how does one-on-one? I can't think of the word. The one-on-ones, right? It's how we call it? One-on-one meetings. There you go. The one-on-one meetings, and we have also the one-on-one meetings is the opportunity that you look for to have a conversation with your traveler, go into in depth into his expectations and thoughts about the country and everything. But it's something that should be practiced continuously throughout the 14 days that you're gonna be with them. It's part of the social skills that we have, the people skills that we have, right? So, if you will, you have the one-on-one meeting, but if you're able to extend that for all 14 days, or each one of your travelers, is the way you make their trip more personable as well. It's like you giving your own personal touch to your leadership, right? Understand? So what do? This is like a big opening. All right, expectation card, welcome briefing, everything else. You just open a big door and scope Japan, right? Then you're gonna be transiting along 14 days, right? In towards the end and the exit door. The exit door is Narita Airport, or whatever you call it, right? Actually, you end on the other side. But anyway, just say it's Narita Airport, right? That's when you're gonna be saying goodbye to them. And then you need to close that. How do you close the door? If you just open it for big Japan and then you just walked for 14 days, and then how do you close that? How do you call those 14 days? This is another word. You call those 14 days, and I'm sure you've seen this before. A travel experience. Travel experience is the time they're going to spend in Japan. 14 days trip, period. That's the travel experience. So people focus 14 days. That's just this much time I have to fully enjoy my trip, right? Based on the philosophy, based on the trip, what the trip leader, delivers. So travel experience, it's really important. So the big opening is the welcome briefing. Then you go through the travel experience, 14 days. So welcome briefing here, yes, that's the big opening. Then the 14 days, that's the travel experience, and then you need to close. How do you think you close this? How do we close that? How do we do it? Look up here.
So yes. So we just follow their expectation
Correct.
items and then let them remind.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. That's how you do it. The closure of their 14 days, in other words, or OAT words, traveler experience, right, is based on their expectation of the trip. You opened that expectation during the welcome briefing. You did the follow-up during the 14 days, right? Maybe on day 12 is something that one of your travelers wanted to do. He specifically booked the trip because he wanted to do something that's going to happen not until the 12th day, right? For instance. And so how do you close it? You just, again, you're going to be continuously doing these one-on-one meetings, and you're going to come and say, hey, John, remember, look, I was reading the expectation card again, and I think all of them have been fulfilled. Don't you think so? All of them. Look, this one, and that one. Did you have a good time? Yeah, and then you just go more into that. It's kind of like a refreshment for their minds and their bodies, what they've been through for the last 14 days, because they have a short memory. They do have a short memory, don't you think? They just forget. You just give them an instruction and they just forget it in the next minute. And so that's why it's important. How you closure. It's like you're telling them again, don't you forget, this is why you came here, and it's been fulfilled. And what do you think people are going to think of when they come back home, and 2 or 3 days after they arrive, they're going to go through the survey. All right, yeah, my expectation is being fulfilled. It was a wonderful trip. Excellent. That's what we want, right? That's what we want. So that is, I don't know whether if you follow the idea, is it more or less clear? Yes. Yes? Does it make sense to you?
I think this is very good way to issue a card for them.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
But it may be a silly question, but have you ever felt the kind of a pleasure because of you have this card?
The pleasure of what did you say?
You see the receiving of this kind of expectation card always remind us, the tour leaders, of that we have to check the which part is fulfilled or not. There's always this kind of you see the thing that I think we have to worry about that throughout
That's
the tour.
Japanese way of
This is
thinking.
quite the right way, I think. But on the other hand, I just wonder. Have you ever felt?
But
But anyway, you have a pleasure. Anyway, you don't have any
and
expectation.
then we sometimes forget their expectation. Otherwise, if you don't write down, and then if they don't,
Yeah.
Okay,
I think,
here's,
yeah, I understand you.
I hear you, all right, just keep on talking, because it's good, because I start seeing some differences, you know, cultural differences. Let's just see. One of the main ingredients that the contributors have is passion. If you don't feel passion for your country, you're not going to be doing a good delivery of your own destination. That's number one thing. So this is a way for you to structure yourself and to make your job easier. What if someone does not turn the expectation card to you ever during the 14 days? How do you do it? Do you just ignore that person? What would you do?
I think this topic is going to be a difficult traveler, I think.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Well, but if in the expectation card, some of the travelers had all those very, very difficult expectations, then it can become a difficult traveler. So,
Based
could-
on my,
could be-
my
could be.
based on my experience, 1%. maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be, but
Could be very easy, could be very difficult. So,
but the importance, regardless, is difficult, is doable or not doable. Let's just say whatever he expects to do, you're gonna know that ahead of time. You know it.
yeah.
And you're gonna give that person the time to go through that,
Right.
and yourself to
Right.
explain through that too. So, and sort of like break it down, if you will,
Right.
and to come to
So,
a,
I'm not saying that expectation card is not really good thing. I think it's really good, but we shouldn't have to feel very pressure because of this expectation card, because even without expectation card, we still feel pleasure.
oh, definitely, yes, yeah, I mean, okay, now I got your point, yes. Yeah, no, of course, yeah. Well, how can I explain this?